Well, let's go straight back up to Manchester and talk to the political columnist at the Sun, Trevor Kavanagh. Good afternoon, Trevor.
Hi, Kevin, and welcome to this cockpit of political excitement.
Yeah, cockpit of political excitement, or it's a sort of panorama of doom, I would suggest. All sorts of things going on up there, Trevor, but we've covered some of the big issues. But what I'd like to talk to you about, because it should be an issue that is concerning Mr. Sunak and his government, and that is these ongoing medical strikes. As we speak, yet again, the junior doctors and consultants have synchronised their walkout so patients die. They're asking for 35% more. The consultants, most of whom already earn 150 grand a year, not including the 300 grand a year most of them earn privately. This is a strike that will garner no public support. What are the government doing about it?
Well, God help you, Kevin, if you're suffering from what might turn out to be terminal cancer. Nobody's doing anything at the moment, either from the government or, it seems, sometimes in the medical profession. A great deal of money is changing hands as hospitals and local medical authorities struggle to provide care, and the medical profession, the ones that are there to save and help lives and life and limb, are milking the system for thousands of pounds to cover a shift for their striking brethren, and then they go on strike while the others cover for them. It is an appalling situation, and I think you're right that the public has precious little sympathy with the strikers, who are already on pretty good salaries. And the only thing that is worrying more than that is that not many people have much sympathy with the government either on this.
That's true. Now, you talked about the consultants in particular. So when they walk out on strike, they have to be covered to an extent, basically skeleton cover, but they still have to be covered. So they're bringing in members of their own ilk to cover for their striking brothers and sisters, as it were. And in one instance, at the Walton Centre, which is a neurology unit in Liverpool, one consultant, or a neurosurgeon, was paid for one shift £7,853. Apparently it's quite normal for some of these consultants to cover for striking members to get £3,000 a shift. Well, if nothing else, shouldn't the NHS stop these obscene payments for strike cover? That's just grotesque, isn't it?
Well, I think that the government should instruct those health authorities to cease immediately. This is an act of grasping larceny. To charge £7,000 for a shift to cover for a striker who may well be covering for you next week because you're on strike, I mean, that's some sort of form of mafia, hands in the blood, isn't it, really?
It certainly is. And
our blood, by the way.
Yeah, our blood. Yeah. But at least, Trevor, going on strike, as they are this week, has given some of them the chance to take a break from their Sunshine Conference in Portugal, where the consultants recently were to talk about anaesthetics and pain, getting a big pamphlet praising all the food and the local golfing facilities and the beautiful weather and the beaches. And this, of all places, was at a Club Med holiday resort. This is the consultants who are on strike now, spending 4 fabulous days in the Portuguese sunshine. Is it just me, or is there something profoundly wrong about that?
Well, it says a great deal that something has gone badly wrong with the way the world is running, or at least the way Britain is running, that the medical profession, which is sworn, as I say, under the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm, is inflicting that pain that you're talking about, that they're talking about, from a remote point somewhere on holiday. And, you know, I find it beggars belief that it can be happening, that these people who are sworn to help and assist people who are suffering and may be dying, that they're not getting the care and attention. And no matter which way they try to portray this, if you extend the waiting list by millions of people and days and weeks and months and years, people will die directly as a consequence. That is blood on their hands.
Totally agree. One last question, Trevor, on a different subject. I alluded to it earlier on. Now, we're hearing today that Downing Street is saying that no final decision has been taken on the Manchester branch of HS2, the Leeds branch having already been cancelled. What that actually means, Trevor, to translate Downing Street talk, is Manchester's cancelled as well, isn't it?
Well, Manchester's been cancelled already. I had to drive up here today because because of the train strike. On Wednesday, I will not be able to get home after the conference has ended because there's a rail strike. Back in London, there are tube strikes. I mean, frankly, you can't reach Manchester by train, so whether we had the HS2 or not, and we're not going to, it makes very little material difference except a huge saving in money. I mean, yes, this pure speculation they've been talking about is really to save themselves surrendering to the civil service blob which has leaked the decision to cancel this final leg. They don't want to give in to them, so they're making us wait, and they're telling us it's speculation. But as you said quite rightly, it's just a matter of hours now before we hear it officially.
Absolutely. Trevor, well, really enjoy yourself if that's humanly possible. Great to talk to you. That's Trevor Kavanagh, the veteran political columnist at The Sun, who's been to a few of those events over the years, I can tell you.